curious lang ako dito sa isang article na nabasa ko about the comment of the President. Sabi po ng Presidente, the reason we do not want to subsidize PhilHealth because the subsidy uupo lang sa bank account ng PhilHealth. Now, my question is, yung subsidy po ba ninyo, saan nyo normally pinapasok na account ito?
Dalawang bagay po. Benefit payment, pambayad natin sa mga benepisyo. Pag hindi po natin magagamit, Mr. Chair, ay pinapasok po natin ito sa investment po.
Saan sa?
Investment.
Sa investment din. So, ibig sabihin, yung subsidy na supposedly ay binibigay ng gobyerno na tulong para magamit sa healthcare na ipapasok sa subsidy, hindi sa healthcare. Ewan ko, kung tama yung pagkakaintindi ko, binibigyan tayo ng subsidy para gamitin sa healthcare, pero nangyayari, parang ngayon, naririnig ko po, additional investment na naman po. Sorry, Mr. Ledesma, chinek ko yung background mo. Investor, mga pinanggalingan mo pala sa mga investment, asset, liability, sum. So, galing ka pala sa mga, so, I understand magaling ka sa investment. But this is an entirely different matter. So dito, ang investment natin dito, buhay ng tao.
Hindi po mawala sa isip ko yung sinabi ni Mr. Lim Siaco na part or the subsidy given to PhilHealth would be used for investment.
In the year 2023, ang alokasyon from the SEN tax ay nasa 80 bilyones. And
Wag na po tayong pupunta doon sa detail. Tinatanong ko lang ko kung tama po yung statement na narinig ko. Tama po ba na part of the subsidy given by the national government would go to investment?
Mr. Chair,
Yes or no? Kung tinitingnan ko po yung data doon sa budget of expenditure and sources of financing, yung appropriations and obligations ng PhilHealth Insurance Corporation from 2017 to 2022, wala po kayong isinoli na pondo. Nagamit nyo po lahat. So, totoo na nagbayad kayo sa benepisyo at ininvest ninyo. Pero sa tingin ko, mas malaki po yung investment na ginawa-gawa po ninyo eh. What are you? Service provider o business? Mr. Ledesma, gusto ko lang i-point out talaga na ang nakikita ko business na kayo eh. From all the data that's in front of me. Kasi, your investment in time deposits, local currency, amounts to 135 billion in 2023. While in 2022, it was 126.4 billion. Sa isang taon, nag-invest kayo sa time deposit by 10 billion. So, now, we go to the other investment that you have.
Mr. Chair, just a
Hindi,
quick...
para malaman na ng tao.
Yeah, Mr.
Yes, the chair would like to recognize Congressman
Your
Romy
Honor.
Acop.
Thank you. Dalawa po yung lumalabas sa social media na kami po ay pinaparatangan na may kasalanan. Number one, kasalanan namin bakit wini-withdraw namin yung 89.9 billion sa PhilHealth. What can you say about this?
I disagree. I don't think it's your fault po. I disagree. Hindi niya po kasalanan. Yan ang view namin.
Pwede ko po bang malaman para sa kalaman ng lahat ng Pilipino, yung po bang 89.9 billion, meron po ba doon contribution ng mga Filipino na naka-enroll sa PhilHealth? Para maliwanag.
Yes, Mr. Lim Siaco.
The 89.9 billion, Mr. Chair, ay hindi po nanggaling sa direct.
Hindi galing sa contribution.
Opo.
Okay. Yun ay galing sa government subsidy.
Opo.
Okay. So in short, dun sa mga binabayad ng mga member, kahit 5 po doon, intact.
Yes,
Tama po ba?
yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay. At yun ay nandoon pa rin sa inyo?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Now,
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Pwede po bang i-assure nyo yung mga Pilipino na enrolled dyan na wala po sila dapat katakutan dahil yung status or financial status ng PhilHealth ay kaya pa naman? Kasi yun po ang lumalabas sa social media eh.
Yes, Mr. Chair, Kong Akop, Honorable Kong Akop, we can assure the Filipino people that PhilHealth is financially healthy and that we can continue with all of our plans on increasing and enhancing the benefit packages po. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. The other issue is that kasalanan din ng Congress kung bakit zero ang budget ng PhilHealth. What can you say about that?
Again, we disagree po. Like I said in my statement earlier, we go with the wisdom of Congress and hindi niya po kasalanan yan po.
Gusto lang namin malaman kung wala po kayong budget, would it affect the operations of PhilHealth? Hindi po ba ninyo maibibigay yung dapat na maibigay sa mga members ng PhilHealth?
Hindi po, Mr. Chair. Having zero budget will not affect at all, will not hamper the operations of PhilHealth. And like I said earlier, with our plans to increase and enhance the benefit packages, hindi po maapekto po.
Thank you. The other reason why...
Kung ako, just to clarify,
Yeah, please.
hindi naman totally zero budget. Ang
Zero subsidy po.
Subsidy,
Yes.
not zero budget.
I stand
kasi
corrected.
medyo, yes, kasi po, yung budget po ng PhilHealth, nanggagaling po to sa 6 na sources. Tama po ba? Yung unang-una po dyan, galing po yan sa sin tax collection. Number 2, 50% ng income ng government share sa PAGCOR. Tapos another 40% from charity fund like PCSO. Ang ika-4, ito na po, yung premium contributions of members. At ang ika-5, annual appropriation of the DOH. At ika-6 lamang, yung national government subsidy. Tama po ba? So, just to clarify, wala lang po kayong government subsidy. But all the rest, nasa inyo pa rin. Tama po ba?
Tama po, Mr. Chair. I stand corrected. It's zero
So
subsidy
it's
po.
not zero budget.
Yes.
It's zero government subsidy.
Subsidy.
Okay.
Apologies po. Yes po. Very clear po.
Yes, Congressman Ako.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Some sectors na advocates ng health, what Congress did was a violation of the law. Yung Republic Act 11223. Tama po. Why? Because of the provision na no portion of the reserve fund or income thereof shall accrue to the general fund of the national government or to any of its agencies or instrumentalities, including government-owned or controlled corporations. Yun po yung basehan nila eh. Attorney Santos, what can you say about this?
Yes, Attorney Santos, you're recognized.
Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Representative Akop, does the question pertain to the 89.9 billion transfer, Mr. Chairperson?
Because of this provision sa Republic Act 11223.
I understand, Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Representative Akop, but before PhilHealth transferred the initial or even the succeeding amount, Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Representative Akop, we were already covered by the positive opinion of the Office of the Government Corporate Counsel. We also have the positive opinion of the GCG regarding such transfer. And we have already consulted the Commission on Audit regarding this. And Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Representative Akop, our actions were based on laws, regulations, Mr. Chairperson. So with that, we are confident that all our actions are in accordance with law, rules, and regulations. Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Representative.
Thank you, Attorney. May I know if the subsidies given by government form part of the reserve fund or the income?
Mr. Chair, Honorable Akop, the subsidy of the national government is treated as premium income, premium from indirect contributors. And closing the books at the end of the year, natatransfer siya sa members' equity. Now, we set up already the reserve fund. And for year 2024, papasok dito siya sa surplus or excess, Mr. Chair.
Was there a part of the government subsidy that formed part of your reserve fund?
Mr. Chair, kung ika-calculate po natin ang ito, yung money from the national government, Mr. Chair, Honorable Akop, ay po pwede natin masabi na that money coming from the national government dito po siya sa surplus or excess, or po pwede rin natin po sasabihin na this dahil doon nga tayo kumuha ng binalik po natin sa national government po.
I am asking this question, siguro mas maintindihan ni Attorney Santos, kasi very specific yung provision of law, no portion of the reserve fund or the income thereof. Very, very specific. Diba, Attorney? Yes. That is why I'm asking whether yung government subsidy na binibigay ng ating pamahalaan form part of your reserve fund.
Mr. Chair, Honorable Akop, with your indulgence, anyway, may nag-file na sa Supreme Court, diba? So I think let's just wait. May kaso na po eh. So in fact, Honorable Mr. Chair, Honorable Akop, yung last tranche nga, diba, pina-TRO nila. But prior to that, may nag-file na eh. So if it's with your indulgence, antayin na lang natin kasi anyway nandun na.
I agree, Mr. President.
Thank you, sirs.
Thank
But
you.
in any event, I would
Thank
just
you, Mr.
like
Chair.
to answer your manifestation that this committee, we are not bound by the sub judice rule. So even assuming for the sake of argument that there is a case pending before judicial, quasi-judicial, or administrative, still, we can still conduct investigation in aid of legislation. Just for the information of
Thank you and noted, Mr.
Your
Chair.
Honor. Yes. Curious lang ako dito sa isang article na nabasa ko about the comment of the President. Ang sabi po dito ni Presidente, there was this one chance interview. Ito po ay nilabas ng Inquirer. Sabi po ng Presidente, the reason we do not want to subsidize PhilHealth because the subsidy uupo lang sa bank account ng PhilHealth. Hindi magagamit eh. Marami tayong paggagamitan noon, so that's the simple explanation there. Now, my question is, yung subsidy po ba ninyo, saan nyo normally pinapasok na account ito? Sa savings, sa time deposit, o sa current?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, please.
of course, the subsidy from the national government receive po ng ating kahera, and ito po ay pinapasok natin dalawang bagay po. Benefit payment, pambayad natin sa mga benepisyo. Pag hindi po natin magagamit, Mr. Chair, of course, we have also collection from the direct contributors, ay pinapasok po natin ito sa investment po.
Saan sa?
Investment.
Sa investment din.
Apo.
So ibig sabihin, yung subsidy na supposedly ay binibigay ng gobyerno na tulong para magamit sa healthcare na ipapasok sa subsidy, hindi sa healthcare.
Mr. Chair, let me clarify, Mr. Chair.
Please clarify.
Pambayad po natin sa ating benefit from the healthcare providers, Mr. Chair, That's number one. Pag hindi po siya magagamit because mayroon naman tayong enough funds, no, from the direct contributors as well, kasi ano to one
Ano
fund
pong
tayo.
instance na nagamit ninyo yung subsidy?
Mr.
May
Chair,
mga instance po ba? Kasi kayo na po nagsasabi na ang dami nating pondo. So sobra-sobra yung pondo natin. In fact, may reserve pa tayo. Tapos ngayon, may subsidy. May reserve na, may subsidy pa. So, kasi parang ang interpretation ko dito, ewan ko kung tama yung pagkakaintindi ko, binibigyan tayo ng subsidy para gamitin sa healthcare, pero nangyayari, parang ngayon, naririnig ko po, additional investment na naman po. Kasi, susundan ko po yung statement pa ng ating Pangulo. Ang sabi po ng ating Pangulo, the current problem with PhilHealth is not its budget, nor its coverage, but its system that has been clogged due to its limited processing capacity. So baka mamaya, masyado tayong nakapokus doon sa investment aspect. Medyo hindi na natin, yung serbisyo natin dito sa healthcare, medyo hindi na natin naasikaso. Ito naman talaga ang primary, ito concern lang po ako because ako po meron po akong ka-tie up na dialysis sa district ko. So nung narinig ko po to, kinabahan ako, baka mamaya tamaan yung mga tinutulungan natin mga pasyente, mga dialysis patient natin. But ngayon, naririnig ko po, parang puro investment yung naririnig ko, parang mali yata yung napasok. Yes, please.
Mr. Chair, actually, thank you very much for that comment. Maganda po yung comment nyo. I'll try to answer your question best possible, no? And then I think Sir Net will also want to add, no? Alam nyo, Mr. Chair, ang pwede rin kasi nangyari doon, masyadong malakas yung collection ng premium contributions. In other words, overflowing or na-overstate yung collection ng premium contributions. Secondly, baka pwede rin ang plano namin gawin after the very good comments, Mr. Chair, of Kong Manuel, no? We are going to change our policy and focus more on benefit expansion, which we are currently doing, no? So, ang gagawin namin, well, number one, baka masyadong malakas nga yung overflowing yung premium contributions, diba? And then secondly, we will really focus, or we will continue to what we've been doing in the last 2 years on benefit expansion po, no?
Yes, kasi alam mo, Mr. Ledesma, kami po kasi may sarili kami mga constituents. At number one po talaga sa problema ng constituents namin is healthcare. Yan talaga number one. Ang laking bagay po sa amin yung mga ini-endorse po namin sa DOH, yung mga guarantee letter. Ang laking bagay po niyan. With this PhilHealth, lalong dadagdag po sana yung tulong. Kaya sana, kasi for example, ma-confine ka sa heart center, ang bill mo, 1 million. Sana makukuha ng 1 million yung mga constituents namin? Di ba? Kaya kami, sa totoo lang, kung kinakailangan namin lumuhod sa DOH para matulungan yung constituents namin, ginagawa namin eh. Kaya sana ito pong PhilHealth, mag-focus tayo dito sa talagang focus natin, which is yung healthcare benefit, instead sa investment. Because, sorry Mr. Ledesma, chinek ko yung background mo. Investor, mga pinanggalingan mo pala sa mga investment, asset, liability, sum. So, galing ka pala sa mga... So, I understand magaling ka sa investment. But this is an entirely different matter. So, dito, ang investment natin dito, buhay ng tao. Yun ang tinitignan namin lahat ng mga congressman dito. Nakop, you are recognized.
Thank you. Hindi po mawala sa isip ko yung sinabi ni Mr. Lim Siaco na part of the subsidy given to PhilHealth could be used for investment. Tama po ba yung pagkarinig ko?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Mr. Lim Siaco, you recognize.
maraming salamat, Mr. Chair. Maraming salamat po. As I mentioned, once papasok ang pera sa korporasyon, pambayad sa benepisyo, and of course, pag hindi na ready na tayo, nabayaran na natin yung mga benepisyo, the excess money ay napasok natin sa investment. Now, the pera from the national government, Mr. Chair, as I mentioned kanina, in the year 2023, ang alokasyon from the Tax ay nasa 80 bilyones. And
Wag na po tayong pupunta doon sa detail. Tinatanong ko lang ko kung tama po yung statement na narinig ko. Tama po ba na part of the subsidy given by the national government would go to investment?
Mr. Chair,
Yes or no?
tama siya. Pero
Yun
let
lang
me
po ang tanong ko. But let me proceed. Wag na po kayo mag-explain. Kasi kung tinitingnan ko po yung data doon sa budget of expenditure and sources of financing, yung appropriations and obligations ng PhilHealth Insurance Corporation, from 2017 to 2022, wala po kayong isinoli na pondo. Nagamit nyo po lahat. So, totoo na nagbayad kayo sa benepisyo at ininvest ninyo. Pero sa tingin ko, mas malaki po yung investment na ginawa-gawa po ninyo eh. You remember sa budget hearing, Mr. Ledesma, sabi ko, what are you? Service provider o business? Mr. Ledesma, gusto ko lang i-point out talaga na ang nakikita ko business na kayo eh. Yeah. From all the data that's in front of me. Kasi your investment in time deposits, local currency, amounts to 135 billion in 2023. While in 2022, it was 126.4 billion. So, it's sa isang taon, nag-invest kayo sa time deposit by 10 billion. So, now, we go to the other investment that you have.
Mr. Chair, just a
Hindi,
quick...
para malaman na ng tao.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, just a quick...
No, you let me finish first. Kasi you also have investment sa securities. Tama po. And I would like to read yung investment in government bonds in 2022, 270.7 billion. In 2023, 331.6 billion. You could just imagine that. Ang lalaki. Now, investment in corporate bonds from 1.1 billion to 4.4 billion. So, ang utak po ninyo ay investment. Hindi po service. The way I look at the data. Now, you also have earnings doon po sa right of use. Tama po. And I think it would amount to 1+ billion a year. So, ang dami-dami ninyong kwan. Dito sa data na nandito sa harapan ko. So, why is it like that? Hindi po para sa tao ang nangyayari na yung the money of PhilHealth should be used to increase the package or to decrease the contribution. I don't see that in the data that's available to this representation.
Can I comment, Mr. Chair?
Yes, please.
Again, Mr. Chair, thank you so much. We are not... everything you mentioned was true. We are not refuting everything that was mentioned by Honorable Acop. Again, like I said earlier, we have to change our policy, or we have already begun to change our policy. So yes, it is showing that our investments are increasing, so and so. But again, I'm humbly asking this honorable committee to give us just a little more patience. It's very clear what direction we're taking po, and our focus on benefit expansion will continue to be as aggressive, and in the next few years, iiba yung trend po at iikot yon. So, I just want to mention that po. We hear you loud and clear, Mr. Chair. We are changing our direction, we are changing our policy, and we will get there. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. The chair would like to recognize Congressman Jill Bongalon.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Kanina, Mr. Chair, binabanggit ho ninyo na yung government subsidy na pupunta ho doon sa investment.
Mr. Chair, can I make a quick comment to your point before? Very
Sure.
quick lang.
Sure,
Sorry, Mr. Chair.
Yes, please.
Sorry lang, very quick lang, Mr. Chair. Again, I agree completely po with what you said, no? That's why I want to reiterate, we're focusing on benefit enhancements. Katulad po yung sinasabi nyo, yung 1 million, kunyari may heart issue. That's why we are focusing on benefit enhancements and we are being very aggressive. Like for example po, yung breast cancer, diba dati 100,000. Ngayon, nasa 1.4 million na. So ang ginagawa namin po, talagang nag-all out kami doon. So at least, yung out of pocket, diba? Yung out of pocket ng mga taong bayan, or kasi we understand and we hear you loud and clear po, talagang walang pera yung mga, lalo na yung mga indigents, diba? So that's where we're really focused on, no? And talagang hindi kami po titigil doon. Just wanted to highlight that po. Thank you very much po.
Again, thank
Congressman
you, Mr.
Gil.
Chair. This is just a clarification, Mr. Chair, because you have mentioned a while ago na yung government subsidy na pupunta lamang sa investment. Clarification lang sapagkat sa 2023 GAA, ang budget ng PhilHealth ay 100 billion. At ang 80 billion doon supposed to be should cater to the indirect contributors. So bakit nyo ini-invest yung subsidy ng government na supposedly yung 80 billion or certain percentage of that budget must cater to the indirect contributors? Same with the 2024 GAA. Ang budget ng PhilHealth is 60 billion. 40 billion doon ay para sa indirect contributions. So, hindi yun natin maintindihan bakit napupunta lahat sa investment, which is supposed to be, you are here to expand the healthcare benefits of the member contributors. Now, ang question ko lang, Mr. Chair, with the excess funds which you can utilize for the expansion of the healthcare benefits, would that also can cater to the indirect contributors? Pwede mo nyo ba i-cater pa yon? Instead, even if without the subsidy from the government, you have so many excess funds eh.
Mr. Chair.
Please, Mr. Limsiaco.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, for the year 2024 na lang, Mr. Chair. 2024, this is already benefit payment. When you say benefit payment, lumabas na pera from PhilHealth, Mr. Chair. September financial report. Our benefit payment is 117.6 billion. And Mr. Chair, for the direct, broken down into two, ibig sabihin saan nanggagaling yung binayad natin ng mga sectors sa membership. 2 billion ay from the direct. In other words, these are the paying members, Mr. Chair. And indirect, meaning these are the members, indigent, senior citizens, which are to be funded by the national government. Our benefit payout or benefit payment, Mr. Chair, is amounting to 62.4 billion pesos. Meaning, Mr. Chair, as I mentioned kanina, pumapasok yung pera sa atin, isang one fund concept siya, Mr. Chair. And ito naman, ang utilization ng pondong ito. Sinasabi ko, as benefit payment, ito na po, lumalabas na yung pondo ngayon. As in, lumalabas na po siya. Even year 2023, lumabas po yung pondo. And for year 2023, Mr. Chair, for the indirect, total lumabas na pera ay 58.3 billion pesos, Mr. Chair. 58.3 billion. In other words, Mr. Chair, as I mentioned kanina, pumapasok siya sa kaban ng PhilHealth and binabayad natin sa benefit payout. Pag hindi natin magagamit dahil sa mayroon tayong exist na pondo from the direct and indirect, pinapasok na natin sa investment. Meaning, whatever amount na hindi natin magagasta, Mr. Chair, ay pinapasok natin sa investment to earn something interest, Mr. Chair, para hindi masayang yung pondo na ito. But, Mr. Chair, for the information of everyone and our constituents, Mr. Chair, year 2024, benefit payout amounting to, as of December 6 na ito, Mr. Chair, from cash position report, 155.5 billion already na ilabas ng PhilHealth. Compared to last year na whole year, 118 billion pesos only. So in other words,
Mr. Lim Siaco, wala po kaming pakialam kahit ubusin nyo yung pondo ng PhilHealth. Basta't as long as ito magamit ninyo sa health benefit ng mga kababayan natin. Because let me walk you through Republic Act 10606, amending Republic Act 7875, Section 27, Reserve Fund. Sabi po dito, the corporation shall set aside a portion of its accumulated revenues not needed to meet the cost of the current year's expenditure as reserve fund, provided that the total amount of reserve shall not exceed a ceiling equivalent to the amount actuarially estimated for 2 years projected program. Now, whenever actual reserves exceed the required ceiling at the end of the corporation fiscal year, the excess of the corporation's reserve fund shall be used to increase the program benefit, decrease the members' contribution, and augment the health facilities enhancement program of the DOH. The remaining portion of the reserve fund that are not needed to meet the current expenditures obligation or used for the above-mentioned program shall be placed in investment. So, ibig sabihin, pag nagawa muna natin itong tatlong to, saka lang tayo pupunta dun sa investment. Now, question. Nag-decrease po ba yung mga membership contribution? Ano po yung nagawa ninyo para mag-decrease yung membership contribution at ma-increase yung program's benefit?
Mr. Chair.
Please, Mr. Ledesma.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. So first of all, Mr. Chair, on the increasing of benefits or benefit packages, in the last 2 years po, dun very aggressive tayo, no? And like I said earlier po, next month, another 50% increase almost across the board, no? On the decrease in premium contributions po, wala po pa kaming nagagawa doon. But number one, we are very supportive. I think there was a bill passed, I think it's on third reading now sa Senate, no, that will bring down the premium contributions from 5% to 3.25%. We are fully supporting that po, no. So to answer your question po, we haven't done anything yet to bring down the premium contributions kasi that's by law, but we are supporting the reduction of the premium contributions, and at the same time we are aggressively expanding po the benefit
maybe
pack.
you should change your focus. Instead of your focus in investment, dapat dito po tayo.
Yes.
Ha?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely po. Noted po. Yes.
Thank
po.
you.
Mr. Chair.
Last na, Mr. Chair.
Sige.
Last na,
Yes, please, Congressman
Yeah.
Manuel.
So, Mr. Chair, yun yung ating gustong i-emphasize dun sa expectation sana ng mga kababayan natin sa PhilHealth na sa ngayon, as we are speaking, Mr. Chair, may hirap talaga tayong kababayan na umaasa na itong insurance na meron sila, state health insurance through PhilHealth, ito yung sasalba sa kanila sa mga panahon na may sakit sila. Pero, Mr. Chair, as we have heard, ngayon pa lang na in-expand yung mga coverage ng PhilHealth, tapos hindi pa napapababaan yung premium na kinukuha mula dun sa sahod ng ating mga employed na mga kababayan. And Mr. Chair, nauna pa na umabot sa 490 billion pesos yung assets ng PhilHealth na naka-invest kung saan-saan. Sa mata, Mr. Chair, probably nung mga mas nakafocus sa ganong aspeto nung pagpapagana ng PhilHealth, tila by in the long run mukhang maganda kasi lalong lumalaki yung assets lang na nandyan, standby ng PhilHealth. Pero Mr. Chair, day by day, pwedeng may mga kababayan tayong namamatay dahil lang supposedly yung assets na pwedeng na-convert into benefits para sa kanila, hindi nila napakinabangan dahil dun sa misprioritization na ginagawa sa ilalim ng PhilHealth. So yun yung mga so far, mga stark observations natin, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Yes. With the indulgence of Congressman Panaligan, who will be the next interpellator. The chair would like, okay po ba? The chair would like to recognize the Honorable Stella Kimbo.
Mr. Chair, gusto ko lang i-remind si Mr. Ledesma na nung huling budget hearing, ni-remind ko na po siya na dahil sobrang dami po ng kanyang pondo, ako po ay nanawagan na bawasan po niya ang premium contributions. And in fact, sumagot po siya, I believe, sa isang interview matapos ang budget hearing na nire-reject po niya ang aking panawagan. This was last year. This year, I made the same call nung budget hearing. Sinabi ko ulit na merong scope to reduce premiums. Hindi pa rin pinansin ang ating panawagan. And in fact, I filed a resolution calling for a moratorium on the premium contributions of minimum wage earners. So, hindi po nagkulang ang Kongreso na manawagan sa PhilHealth na pababain ang premium contributions, particularly the most vulnerable workers, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congressman Stella Kimbo. With
Mr.
the
Chair,
indulgence of...
Can I respond?
Yes, Mr. Ledesma.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, parang hindi ko naalala yung rineject ko, ma'am. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, ma'am, regardless, ma'am, we're always, like I said, ma'am, earlier, we are 110% supportive of the bringing down of the premium contributions. Wala po kaming problema dyan, ma'am, no? In fact, I also mentioned that in a Senate hearing that we are fully supporting bringing down the premium contributions. And now, Mr. Chair, I just wanna touch on very briefly on Kong Manuel, no? Maganda kasi yung mga issues na bringing up ni Kong. I just want to highlight, Kong, that it's been 12 years kasi since the case packages of PhilHealth have been enhanced, no? And so I understand very clearly when you say, Kong, and everyone says that maraming namamatay, maraming nagkakasakit, diba? We fully understand that in PhilHealth. Ang hiningi lang po namin sa PhilHealth sana is konting-konti na lang pasensya. I think naman po, makikita nyo naman, it's been 12 years that we have enhanced the benefit packages. Nung pumasok po ako, in the last 2 years, sobra kaming aggressive, Kong. In fact, we continue to be more aggressive, no? And like I said, next month, almost 50%, almost across the board, no? So, again, I think I'm just asking for a little more patience from this honorable body. I'm really confident we will get there, no? I mean, it doesn't happen overnight, pero dun po talaga kami papunta eh. And I think it's very clear naman sa mga enhancements namin at increases that dun kami papunta, no? Maraming salamat.
Mr.
Thank
Chair,
you.
sir,
With Congressman
Mr. Chair.
Manap.
with the indulgence of the Honorable yung
Yes, Congressman Manap.
diba? Tinanong ko po kayo noon eh. Why? Because according to the records, your interest income for 2022 was 11 billion. And your other income is 698 million plus. In 2023, your interest income rose from 11.5 billion to 20.7 billion. So, ibig sabihin, lumaki yung investment amount. Di po ba? So, you're becoming a business enterprise, not a service enterprise. The statistics would show that. You could just imagine, from 2022, 11.5 ang interest income ninyo. In 2023, yung interest income nyo is 20.7 billion. And your other income rose also from 698 million to 815 million. So, yung earning ang nangyayari eh.
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Ledesma, you're recognized.
Duly noted, Mr. Chair. Yes, that is correct. That is all correct, Mr. Chair. But I'd like to mention po, that's why I keep on reiterating po that our primary focus now is on benefit expansion. So, Mr. Chair, if we do that, we aggressively focus on benefit expansion, yung trend na po yan, magsi-shift po yan, diba? Dahil umaakyat yan, ngayon, magiging pababa na mo yan. Especially now that we are very aggressive. But po, we will not deny, tama po lahat ng sinabi po ni Honorable Ako.
Okay, having said that, may we know what is the ratio of the payout versus the investment source from the subsidy for the year 2023 and 2024?
Yes, Your,
ano
yeah,
po yung...
yes, Your Honor. Can we just
Yes, yung
give in a
binibigay
few...
sa inyong, in short, gusto po naming malaman, yung binibigay sa inyong subsidy, ano yung ratio ng binibigay ninyo sa tao at yung portion nun kung ilan ang ini-invest ninyo?
We'll just, Your Honor, we'll put together the figures. It's a very good question. No? We'll put together the figures, Your Honor, with your permission.
Yes, please.
You in a minute.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
for 2023, Mr. Chair, the benefit payout of PhilHealth for the indigent, for the indirect contributors amounting to 58 billion, Mr. Chair.
58 billion.
Apo, ang ating
Ito yung payout.
GAA, Mr. Chair, ay nasa 80. But the amount released in CA by DBM ay nasa 50. So in other words, for year 2023, mas mataas yung benefit payout natin sa indirect compared to the received amount of 50 bilyones, Mr. Chair.
Ang gusto kong malaman, magkakano muna yung binigay sa inyong subsidy nun, noong 2023?
Sa 2023, Mr. Chair, 80 billion po sa GAA
80
po
billion.
natin. Opo.
Okay. Sa 80 billion, 58 billion sa payout.
Opo.
Okay. So yung remaining na ilan ang ano nun? 22 billion, ito yung napunta sa investment.
Hindi po, Mr.
Saan?
Chair. As I mentioned, Mr. Chair, 50 na receive namin na in CA. Pera.
50 lang ang natanggap ninyo.
50 lang natanggap namin.
Okay. So saan kayo kumuha ng 8 billion?
Mr. Chair, ito po ay ang pera na nalikom ng korporasyon for the past several years, including yung mga premium contribution from the direct. Yun ang pinampabayad po natin.
So ibig sabihin, yung remaining na 22 hindi ninyo natanggap.
Hindi
nyo
pa po
na-receive.
namin natanggap.
So may utang pa sa inyo yung ano?
DBM po.
DBM.
Opo, nag-usap na po kami last week po ni Yosek
Okay.
Toledo.
Sa 2024,
Sa 2024, Mr. Chair,
magkano muna yung subsidy ninyo, supposedly?
the subsidy from the syntax ay 40. 40. And
Bakit ang layo ng ano, from 80B naging 40? Okay, so 40B ang naging subsidy.
40 billion po.
So,
And
dito-
benefit payment po, as I mentioned kanina, as of September ay nasa 62.4 billion already.
62 billion ang
Benefit payout.
payout.
And
Baka ang sinasabi mo, sinama mo na yung subsidy tsaka yung ano, parang kinumbine mo na.
hindi, Mr. Chair, that is intended for the indirect contributors account, Mr. Chair.
So, eto lahat, etong 58 billion, eto na yung buong payout sa buong 2023. Tama?
That is intended for the indirect contributors, Mr. Chair.
Kaya nga, sa buong 2023.
Opo.
So, magkano supposedly yung galing sa inyo? Kasi pag sinabi mong subsidy, tulong lang to eh.
Opo.
Di ba?
Opo.
So, yung galing sa inyo, parang ginawa mo, parang lahat, kinover mo lahat dun sa subsidy eh. Yung sa inyo,
Mr. Chair, for year 2023, the benefit payout ay nasa 118 billion. And again, the
ilan yung ano?
118 billion, Mr. Chair, yung total benefit payout ng PhilHealth. So,
Hindi, yung galing sa inyo.
so 118 billion bawas ng 58. Mga 60 bilyones, Mr. Chair,
So, magkano yung collection ninyo?
sa collection po natin. Ang collection po ng PhilHealth total,
Magkano yung total for 2023?
2023, Mr. Chair, total premium received. Cash po ito, from cash flow.
Okay.
Nasa 198 billion, Mr. Chair.
198 billion.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Sa 198 billion, di ba dapat ito muna yung uubusin mo? Tapos, kung may matitira lang sa, kung kukulangin ito, saka tayo kukuha sa subsidy. Tama po ba yun? Kasi ang subsidy, ano yun eh, parang suporta lang yun eh. In the event na kulang eh. Tama ba?
Mr. Chair,
Parang ang ginawa mo, lahat kinarga mo yung kalahati sa ano, kinarga mo dun sa subsidy, para ang ganda nga naman pakinggan na gamit ninyo yung subsidy. Tapos yung supposedly sa inyo, kinaltasan lang ninyo ng konti, tapos yung bulto, yun ang ininvest ninyo. Tama ba ang pagkakaintindi ko, Ma'am Congresswoman Kimbo? Mas magaling po kayo sa math.
Mr. Chair, itanong natin kay SVP. Ipaliwanag ninyo sa amin kung paano ba ang isang insurance fund. Hindi naman tama na kung kumokolekta ka ng piso mula sa isang grupo, ay yung piso na yan ay dapat i-apply dun sa grupo na yan. Dahil ang insurance is risk pooling. Tama po ba?
tama Mr. Chair.
Oh, so ibig sabihin na hindi naman porket sumingil ka para sa indigent families. Ibig sabihin para sa 4Ps, para sa seniors, etc. Na halimbawa 74 billion. Hindi naman ibig sabihin na kailangan 74 billion lang ang gagastusin natin para sa grupong ito. Tama po ba?
Mr. Chair, tama po.
Because
Correct po.
that's not how an insurance fund works. Tama po ba?
Tama po, Mr.
Kaya
Chair.
nga tayo may tinatawag na i-compute natin actuarially kung magkano ba dapat ang premiums. Tama po ba?
Tama, Mr. Chair.
So, wag niyo pong lilituhin kami. Diba? So, kasi parang ang pinapalabas ninyo is kulang pa ang binibigay ng Kongreso sa PhilHealth. Parang ganyan ang pinapalabas ninyo eh.
Parang, kung tama po yung pagkakaintindi ko una muna nilang ginagamit yung subsidy. Tapos yung contribution nila na dapat doon muna nila binabawas, yun na lang ay kung may sobra pa. Kaya ang laki ng sobra nila doon sa mismong contribution. Parang gano'n nangyari dito eh. Subsidy, dapat tulong lang yan eh. Hindi yan yung pinaka-main na pinagkukunan ninyo. Parang ginawa niyo, binaligtad ninyo eh.
Mr. Chair.
Ang ganda nga naman pakinggan, ubos lahat yung subsidy. May utang pa ngayon tayo.